Okay, hey, this is Roman from Inner Strength with a video on how to modify your crescent lunge and your side angle pose. Now, before I get to that point in the video, it's short, it's only a couple minutes long, maybe 6 or 7 minutes long. I want to recap. I sent you over two videos. The first one on sun salutation A, the second on sun salutation B. Now, it's important to view those videos because I want to make sure that you know exactly how to safely and effectively move through the sun salutations. Now, the sun salutations are what we use to link the different phases of your yoga class together, and we do a fair amount of them. So I want to make sure that you have all the tools necessary to progress and to get stronger. Now, in the first video, I wanted you to remember 3 key points. Do you recall what they were? Yep, the first, there's 1,000 shades of gray between black and white, and gray is okay. It's not about perfecting the pose. It's just about connecting to it and making sure that they're safe. And making them safe is really not hard to do. The second is that a consistent approach is necessary. In other words, anything that we do in life, in any context, in order to reach the goal, we've got to be consistent. Now, along that journey, you may have to rest. Now, we rest in child's pose, or you might need to walk out of the room or put your arms down. And you need to know that it is absolutely okay to rest, and to rest when you need to. In the second video, I showed you how to modify your sun salutation B. Now, if you remember, the sun Bs have chair pose and warriors. And in the video, I showed you how to literally put your knees down and to move through every phase of the sun B. I encouraged you that by doing what we call modifying or scaling, you're not benefiting any less. In fact, you're probably benefiting more because you're giving your body the support it needs, and you're giving it the space it needs to get stronger through these crucial first parts of your yoga practice. Before we get to how to modify the crescent lunge and the side angle pose, I'd like to talk a little bit about breathing. Breathing is the single most important element. The postures are going to change, the sequence is going to shift, the teachers are going to be different, the weather is going to be changing, and there are many factors. The common denominator through all of those things that change is the breathing. A lot of times in class we like to say you can rest when you need to, you can come 10 minutes late, you can leave 10 minutes early, the only requirement is breathing. And we really want to hit that point home. Now, the sun salutations, they create the demand for the breath, thus stimulating it. When the movement stops, when the sun salutations stop essentially, and we get into these, what we call the primary standing phase, or the standing poses like the crescent lunge, the breath is now ready to be shaped, lengthened, and deepened. And it's in these moments that there must be a calm determination cultivated. That's what the slow, long, and deep breathing is going to do for you. Now, by modifying the poses, by placing your knee down, using blocks, etc., we not only keep it safe and effective, but we are able to access the deep, diaphragmatic breathing. So hopefully you can begin to see that there's a lot more that goes on the yoga mat than just the physical posture itself. The metaphor we like to use is the metaphor of an iceberg. I mean, the physical posture is really just the tip, but there's a strong psychology, a real association with these organizing principles that it's okay to be gray, that you have to rest when you have to, that modifying and scaling down is absolutely accessible. I want you guys to really grasp that intellectually and mentally the next time that you go ahead and step onto the yoga mat. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and get to the video that shows the safe and effective posturing for the crescent lunge and the side angle pose. Okay guys, so here we have Irina. Irina has been through our 4 Pillars of Freedom Teacher and Personal Development Program, and she also leads classes at our studio now. She's an outstanding teacher, an outstanding person. I highly recommend you get to her class. So we had a great time putting this together. So here, let me just go over. Whenever we transition into our standing series, we call it the primary standing. It's when you do a lot of the crescent lunge and side angle. We typically start with the right foot. Now you can see Irina stepped her right foot forward. In the last video, I showed you guys how to put your knee down to get your foot forward. Those of you who are reviewing this video that need a little extra help, you can always put your foot down. Now, or your knee rather, I should say. So you place your knee to the earth here in crescent lunge and flip your toe back. Drawing your hands on your hips gives you also a little bit more stability. Once you feel stable, then you grow your arms up into the sky. Now, the reason why they call it crescent lunge is because if you follow my cursor here, it goes up, and eventually the pose moves into a crescent shape, like a crescent moon. Now, as you draw your hands down to prayer and lean forward, it's going to give you so much more length to twist the elbow off to the shelf of the knee. Now, you can see as I pan around here to get a little bit of a better shot, Irina has what we call stacked her joints. I'll pause the video. The ankle joint, the knee joint, and the left elbow joint are all in a line. Now, if I were to work with her a little bit more, I would try to take her top right elbow and move it over so there's more of a line there. But I got to tell you, with your knee down and your back shin pressing, this type of foundational alignment, the ankle, the knee, and the elbow together, I mean, she's getting a deep, cleansing, flushing twist out of her lower back. By having the back knee down, the shin down, it's giving you an incredible amount of stability to ground your foundation, ground yourself down. Now, oftentimes we invite you to spread your wings. With the knee down variation, you put one hand down, you take the other hand to your knee, and you're done. See how she does this? Yeah. The right hand is on the knee, the left hand is down. Now here, to transition, you have to lift the back knee, dial the foot like a warrior, and then slowly make your way up, taking her arm up. And here we are into warrior number 2. Now from your second warrior, we ask you to place your forearm on your thigh for what we call side angle. It's typically the next pose that we do in our 8-phase system at Inner Strength Studios. Now the side angle pose is called that because we create an angle with the side of the body. Now the purpose here in your side angle pose primarily is foundational. I mean, you want to get really stable and really still in the hips. From there, you begin to twist the navel up, the chest up, and you flush out your body a little further. Here, Irina transitions once again by placing her knee down, stepping her right foot back, placing both knees on the earth. An amazing variation to help you descend with strength, to gain strength. Rather than upward dog, we've got a cobra variation over the knees and back to downward facing dog, or what we call home base. The hands are pressing down. The core is igniting. The hips are lifting up, and her thighs are pressing back. And that's usually where we step the other side. Or what I did here, actually, I turned her around to face the back of the room so we can see the left foot stepping. But now you're going to get the left foot stepping. Keep in mind that whenever we do step one side, we also want to then mirror it with the other side. Now here in downward dog, hold on one second, I'm just going to rewind this. And I want you guys to really see what I did here. Okay, right there. So, started with Irina's hands and rooted them down. Drew energy up through her forearms and her upper arms. Lifting through the hips into the sky. And then grounding back and down. This is usually one of the assists my team or I offer in downward facing dog. And as you can see, Irina drops her head and the backs of her legs, the calf muscles, the Achilles, the soles. I mean, it's all getting a real deep, healthy stretch. Irina stepped her left foot forward, and just to recap, you can always place your back knee down to swing the left foot forward. The back right knee presses to the earth gently, flips the toe, and you rise up. Irina is going to draw her hands to prayer. We typically ask you to lean forwards. Let me pause for a moment. Now, when Irina leaned forward, her spine got long. I want you to remember this, guys. Extension invites the rotation. In other words, before you twist in any posture, you want to get long or extended. That's why we ask you to lean out over. Oh, there I am, magically appearing, notioning what's happening in her body. Irina is twisting, sort of like the spirals on a candy cane, all the way up through the crown of the head as her body breathes deeply. The hands release, the knee lifts, the back foot dials, and here we come. Warrior number 2. Warrior 2 segues us into the side angle again. Forearm resting on the thigh. Here's that line from the hand all the way down, an angle. Now for Irina to transition, once again, place the knee down. Use your knees as you lower. Lifting up through the chest, the arms, transitioning over the hands and the knees, and back to downward dog. Okay, you guys, there you have it. Some really simple techniques to keep your crescent lunge and your side angle pose safe. Now, what's going to happen with consistency, with resting when you need to, with knowing that modifying the pose is absolutely accessible, you're going to get stronger. And that moment where my team or I invite you to go deeper, to stretch your fabric a little bit more, rather than feeling scared or uncertain or insecure, you're going to feel empowered, you're going to feel strong, and you're going to go for it. You're going to stretch yourself. In that moment, what happens is what we call a breakthrough. What was previously unattainable, what was previously perhaps out of your awareness, is now a part of your practice. And that's what we call progression. When you're progressing on the yoga mat, there's very little in life that juices us than that feeling of progressing, getting stronger. So again, you guys, this is Roman from Inner Strength. I want to thank you so very much for allowing me to put these videos together for you. My team and I couldn't be more grateful for everything that you do to make Inner Strength stand out. We have our teacher training starting in February. During our live trainings, we go over in depth all of this material that we're giving you. I hope I have the chance to serve you in one of those trainings. They're very popular. And in fact, this one coming up in February is brand new. Everything has been redesigned. I hope you guys can consider it. Thanks again. This is Roman from Inner Strength.